Hello and everybody and welcome. I am your humble host Gavin the Kitty and I spent pretty much 4 to 5 hours last night at midnight to prepare for today. I like to, for those who are new to the channel, I like to have my thoughts pretty fully formed by the time I get to starting around in a new game like this. Um, but today's a first thoughts, first impressions. We're going to be playing through Battle Network Legacy Collection Volume 1 and Volume 2. And I will be hopefully reading chat and hopefully playing multiplayer. We are playing this on the PS5, so that means we have access to the PS5 and PS4 versions of people who are playing. So let's hope that we can get some multiplayer. And this includes for chat, I'll be doing some private lobbies, some public lobbies. We'll be jumping around between games, jumping around between collections, and hopefully having a grand old time. I don't have any co-hosts with me today, so I'm so sorry for that. Casey might be joining us later, but she is very tired from work today, so I didn't want to force it on her. But hello, Dark Megaman.exe 85. Welcome. It's Mega Man Network time. It absolutely is. And let's just start with one of my first thoughts. This title screen. Oh my god. For both collections, they are amazing. This is one of the best right here. Hello, Zeke, and hello, Febs. I hope everybody's having a good day. This is probably going to be the highlight of my day. I'm not going to lie, this game. So, as you can see, I chose to wear the hub skin because, yes, I did pre-order. There are some... So, let me start with let's start with the good. Each collection has 3 games. When we did the Ultimate Guide to Mega Man Battle Network and Star Force, I went through and I compiled the prices for every single Battle Network game. Battle Network 1 is nearly $200, 2 is $175, 3 is somewhere in the realm of $60 to $80 depending on which version you buy. Already, for $30 per collection, worth it, because we are already saving money. Just woke up from a nap, Febs? Well, good morning. I hope this is going to make your day, because this made mine. So far, worth it. We go to the gallery here, because I wanted to show this off. I had to show this off. I had to look through the art, and we found all sorts of stuff when I was going through here. Early designs for Lan Hikari, early design for Male Sakurai, some early rough sketches for Dex, stuff for Yai, Chod, early sketches, all sorts of stuff. And it doesn't stop there. We even get Dr. Hikari, Dr. Light, which is just lovely. We have some art. I've never seen this piece of art before, so it made me quite happy. And to go along with all of that, I scrolled through here and I went through and I was like, okay, well, what is up with this? We even get early Mega Man concepts. Some of this stuff is really cool. It'll really spark your brain. Hello KE949 and hello Chronobird. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. We're just going through the gallery right now and getting our first thoughts on all of this, and I think this right here alone makes it worth it as well, because we've got all of this concept sketches that were, some of which weren't re-released, and a lot of which was in the one of those hardcover books, Complete Works, which, you know, while it's cool, it's not always, you know, perfect. And this is lovely, because we just get, you know, a nice bit of everything, and we get stuff for all 3 games. And then we go to the mystery data section, and we have stuff from Operation Shooting Star, which is a game we played on the channel, which is just fantastic for me. I do plan on getting back to Battle Network to do a full playthrough, but this is just multiplayer, first thoughts, some gameplay, and just getting in that 2-hour time slot and seeing how long we go for. I'm a little hungry. I might have to stop and grab my snack from upstairs, and I'm a little thirsty too, so bear with me there. But we got one of my favorite Mega Men in this collection here, so it's really great. We even get to see, you know, new artwork, stuff made only for promotion, stuff made for Christmas, all sorts of stuff, because Battle Networks has been getting new artwork for years. We even get stuff like this! Already, this collection is off to a wonderful, wonderful start. We even have early Dr. Wily sketches down here. Like, look at this. Look at this mad genius. Some artwork that was made for mobile devices a long time ago. And of course we got the new art made for just this collection. The download chips, they seem to work just as planned. I wasn't really expecting too much out of that. The music player, we'll skip the music player. We'll get back to that. Trophies, these were fantastic. I love that none of these trophies are linked to online play. You don't have to worry about online rankings getting in the way of you and a platinum trophy, which is just fantastic. And all of these seem fairly spread out throughout both the collections, but like Volume 1 does have more than Volume 2. Now let's get to one of my grievances with this collection, because I want to state that right off the bat. So the music player is great, right? We've got music from all the games, all of the tracks from those lovely games, and then we get here and we realize, oh, this is the special music. So this should be all the remixes. They made 20, right? Yeah, but only 6 of them are available. 3 in Volume 1 and 3 in Volume 2. This game needs a patch to fix that, because all of those music tracks should be available, especially seeing as I pre-ordered. Like, come on. Like, absolutely not. There's no excuse for that. That is the weakest part of this collection, is the lack of music. Because so far, so good. We've got button configs. I wish I could just customize all of the buttons, but that's okay. We don't get that, but it's alright. It's fine. We have lots of borders to play around with. Sound settings. We can change Megaman's skin. We'll change him back to normal for now. And of course we got credits and private policies and stuff. And if we ask Megaman,
nothing like a net battle to get the blood flowing.
Let's hope so. Let us hope so. So, today is multiplayer day. We are doing multiplayer stuff. If you guys have this collection on PlayStation 4, absolutely feel free to boot it up and get ready, because we are going to be doing some multiplayer as I continue my Battle Network 1 playthrough on here, to show you guys kind of what it's like. So this collection already off the bat has a lot of content that would make it worth it for a newcomer, and the games play fantastically. The screen size options, on the other hand, they're a little dicey, but the base one is okay. The game itself looks great on this big screen. I was not expecting that. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit fuzzy, a little blurry, but nope, pixels are sharp, everything was looking fantastic. The menus, I thought some things were going to look out of place. Nope, all of the dialogue and text stuff kind of sort of just fell into place as I was playing. When I was doing this, I found that So I played... First off, I started with BN1. Then I shifted my focus over to Battle Network 2. Or Battle Network 4. And I found that while playing for Buster Max mode, which is the new toggle switch for this one, so essentially every collection has had an easy mode. Zero and ZX had extra checkpoints that you could save state to. X had the Rookie Hunter mode, which made sure pits and spikes weren't lethal at first. The Legacy Collection 2 had its damage reduction, and 1 had its turbo mode. So all of these modes are very easy. And Buster Max mode actually fixes some of the weird grinding and strange issues with Battle Network 4. I couldn't say on the behalf of Battle Network 1, I'm just past the first area. This is very early on. Hello Zenny and hello Felipe. Let's see. Oh, what great timing. I'm sitting down for homework. Well, lovely. Felipe says, oh, we battling, we networking, maybe even rollbacking. I have not had a chance to test the network features. From what my friends on YouTube have told me, this game does not feature rollback. However, there is still a reason to get this. Within the first 24 hours of this game being released, fans have already done multiple things. 1, integrated it into a specialized emulator called Tango. So yes, if you're running the Steam version of this game, have Tango on your computer, update Tango, you can battle with people who, with rollback, so long as you've got Tango on your PC. So, the battle system isn't perfect on console, but it can be there on PC. And and as for the text, they actually put in the old text back. They put the old text back, which was interesting. I wasn't expecting them to do that, but they did. Let's go ahead and put base in our folder here. I don't think... Oh, I do have enough for HPMM. Let's see how this is going. Hello, Skylar. But yes, we are doing multiplayer. This is a multiplayer game. This is a multiplayer RPG. Just for startup, let's go ahead and attempt to connect. If this doesn't work, that's okay. We can come back to it. I've got 2 hours today to showcase both these games, and that's just what I'm going to do. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week. It's been packed full of content, and I have been a stressed out little kitty. But we'll survive. So, let's start with network battle. Okay, let's see here. Actually, network setting. Worldwide. We are set to worldwide. I don't know who we're going to battle. We're going to go with a public match. I'm going to host it. Just going to be casual and a practice match. If you've got the PS4 version, feel free to battle me. I'm A-OK. You can find me under Gavin..mh, I believe. Let's make it a good one. Let's see if we can get anybody. And this has been my main issue. I haven't found anybody. Just curious if I just... Felipe, I'm not sure. Because I can't get into any multiplayer battles. PvP is just it's 1v1 Chronobird, not 1, 2, 3. It's not 1v3. It is 1v1. So I'm assuming they assumed a peer-to-peer connection would work well, and generally it does. But I think everybody is on either PC or Switch, so I have not been able to get a hold of anybody because there's no crossplay. But if this is the roughest bit of this game, then this is a fine collection. Because not even the Wii U Virtual Console offered multiplayer. Here I at least have a chance to get something. Meanwhile, I wouldn't have that chance normally. I've got functions here that make the Wii U Virtual Console's save state function kinda sorta mute. The text here isn't quite as bad as what I thought, and it's actually a little easier to read than the original Game Boy games. I hate to say it, but yeah, it is. It plays a little better. Oh, yeah. No, I think most people are playing 6. So, Battle Network 1 here, not a whole lot was done in terms of this. So how about we quit, which, once again, super easy. He'll comment on your playstyle. I haven't heard too many of them. I have heard him say that he's really tired and that I should probably take a break and go to bed, which was actually kind of chill. I'm not gonna lie, this menu system with Megaman there is really cool. With Square, you can change the version of which game you're playing. It'll tell you if you're currently playing it. So if in case, you know, you wanna boot up a new save file, it'll tell you if you've got an old one there before you even go into the menu, which is nice. Another thing is with the other stuff here, we've also got, oh shoot, where is it? Oh, if you change the language settings, like I'm going to change this to Japanese. We get the Japanese versions of the games. And the save file transfers. So, Oh, and Mega Man's voice changes to that respective set. So, we're going to change it back to English, though, because that is my native language, and that's the one that's a little easier for me to read. I'm going to try to catch up on chat here. Yeah. So, with all that being said, Battle Network Collection 1, Volume 1 is definitely worth it for $30. We're going to boot up Volume 2, and that's probably going to be the games we stick with as I enter into Battle.Network 6, and we're going to get a first-time feel for those games. If you guys are enjoying this, please leave some likes, subscribe. I've got a lot more Mega Man stuff planned throughout the week, the next week. However, today's Battle Network, so I'm just kind of winging it and chilling. This collection is absolutely worth it as well. We've got the stronger pieces of music. So, if Battle Network 1 and 2 are a little rough...
Us robots mostly dream of electric sheep.
Oh my god, he just made a Sheep Man reference. That's a reference I know. Us robots mostly dream of electric sheep. Oh, that's great. He's not really a robot though, is he? He's a computer program. I guess they're kind of interchangeable. So, we've got 4, 5, and 6. These are pretty good games. 4 not so much. I think the structure of 4 could change drastically, and it would be a-okay. 5 is really, really good, and 6 is one of the best. So, if you want the stronger games in this series, this collection is for you, Volume 2. If you want a bit more in the gallery, believe it or not, Volume 2 has you covered, because we've got different art pieces compared to what we saw previously, including stuff from the mobile titles in high resolution. I want to say this right now, none of these are in this high of a resolution on PC. When I went through and had to make the Mega Man battle, the Ultimate Guide to Mega Man's Battle Network Star Force, I struggled to find things like logos, characters, portraits, anything from the mobile games. I had to find something, and I couldn't. I ended up having to redo certain logos and up-res them with AI and focus in on my points of fine-tuning the pieces. And what I found was it was easier for me to just use the older logo and hopefully attempt to smoothen out the lines and make sure that the pixels weren't discolored. It was really, really annoying. But as you can see, we've got some lovely art, even stuff from the DS game. So, and 4.5, of course. Let me see here. Videosity1 says, the Mega Man fights for the users. Yes, they do. Grunabert says, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby, yeah. That is one of his lines, so. We've got early concept art for stuff like Duo, all sorts of stuff. Now, I can't figure out whether you unlock anything yet, because I don't remember seeing... Oh, shoot. This piece here. But I also haven't been touching Battle Network 6. I must have been playing Battle Network 5. Huh. Isn't that Mick? I've never seen that of Mick. Interesting. We got early sketches for Iris. Yeah, all of that's really, really good. We've got fewer trophies here, and download chips and patch cards work just like they should, so that's good. Patch cards are a new feature for this game. They weren't in the US original. All of the content from Battle Network 6 was restored, so we actually have a lot to go over. So without further ado, let's jump into... So, are we playing Falzar or Gregor, chat? I will let you guys focus in and pick your game. Gregor, Falzar. We going gospel, we going reggae. First person in chat to say Falzar. Alright, we're going Falzar. We're going to start with Buster Max mode on just so we can get past the the tutorials rather quickly, but I'm mostly going to be playing with it off for this run. The title screens, once again, redone, but they look just like the original, and it looks good. Also, let's change the border, shall we? Something a bit more Battle.exe. Sure, why not? There we go. As you can see, the text is a little jarring at first, but it grows on you. You get used to it. Believe it or not, I don't think it's that weird to look at, and I'm somebody who's been playing these games for years. Which is really something, because I was not sure if I was going to like it. I was mostly ignoring the discussion about all of the stuff. But, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and skip past this little opening bit. Battle.exe, I think, has some of the best pacing in the game's series, and I think having all of the extra content from Japan is actually really going to help. There is no new translation. I should open with that. There is no new translation. However, I did notice a few typos being fixed, and I did notice a few character portraits swapped back to the way they were meant to be. So, it seems like they did fix glaring issues, but anything that was meme-worthy, they left. So, Battle Network 4 still has Legs Go Land, Battle Network 1 still has Load Chod instead of Lord Chod, and any other typos in the games generally stayed the same. But it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. So, once we get past the tutorial, we're going to attempt to do some network play. And we're going to hope people are playing. Because generally this game is brand new. It's on PlayStation. I've got PlayStation Plus. They should absolutely still be on. Analog sticks work great, and so does the D-pad, so you don't actually have to worry about anything here. I'm not focused on sub-chips, yet at least. And here's Iris. Lovely. These aren't going to be full playthroughs. Absolutely not. If these were full playthroughs, I would be doing things a lot differently. I'd be uploading them and all sorts of stuff. Because, well, I think the Battle Network series is really interesting. The new icons for all the buttons, they fit. They're alright. They throw me off a little bit, but they're not bad. Does it give you the secret chip if you examine your room? I will show you how to get the secret chips. I'm not sure what you mean by examine. Like, there are hidden chips around the world, yes, but that's neither here nor there. So, to skip us past the tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and use the Buster. There we go. I know how to play these games. I've been playing them for years, so for me, tutorials are a little much. Alright, put your phone down. Alright. Cuddly Kong says, isn't this the Forbidden Mega Man? I think you're confused. Battle Network is its own series. It is a different timeline to the classic series, and it is absolutely worth it. Nothing about Battle Network is forbidden. Everything about this is just a lovely set of games. I'll show off the chips here just to show you that, yes, even while in Buster Max mode, you don't have to worry. I'm also going to show off something a little interesting. So, we're gonna get rid of these first two Mets. If I charge up my Buster Shot while in Buster Max mode, it still only does 10. So if you thought that the 100 would stack with your multiplier for that, you're mistaken. And this is going to change gameplay around a little bit. Once again, once we get past the tutorial, we will absolutely start the multiplayer shenanigans on Battle.exe. And if you guys have the PlayStation 4 version, you can absolutely play along with me. There was a Wii U patch that lets you examine your room. It gave you the opposite version Navi chips. No, that is not how that worked. It had nothing to do with examining the room. The way that functioned was you go to your communications, and then from there you would exit that menu. That menu is what did it. Here, if I go to Megaman, and I go click patch cards, I can get the download chips and special cards. However, since trading and multiplayer were added for this collection, that is no longer necessary, so they removed it for balancing purposes. The whole point of that was so that way then you could get all the cards and see all of the extra stuff at the end of the game without having to need the other version if you were playing on the Wii U, because the Wii U didn't allow for multiplayer. The Wii U didn't allow for any of this stuff. In fact, the Wii U versions were great to play, but they're not the best way to play. I have to give it to this collection for simply having the patch cards, having the online multiplayer, having the trading. All of that being here helps. It helps to make this game more worth it than it normally is. So let's attempt a connection here. Net battle, public match, casual match. I will be the guest, and I will practice single battle, and we'll even enable catch cards. Why not? Let's see what we can get. And if we don't get anything, I'm going to ask for you guys to join in. Opponent could not be found. Continue matchmaking. Continue. Continue. Alright, return to main menu. Net battle. Public match. It keeps your stuff. So what if we go disable patch cards? Opponent could not be found. On PlayStation, at least, I cannot get in a match. I don't know what is wrong here. If I host, practice, single battle, enable patch cards. Ready for a challenger. If anybody would like to join and has the PlayStation 4 version of this game, please do. I've been wanting to test the multiplayer for weeks. So please, anybody? Any takers? We'll open it up again later on. The bottom text says there's something bizarre and it's UMD movies for PSP. Well, we're not talking about UMD movies for PSP. The bottom text. I know what those are. I have 3 of them. Zenny says they have no PS4. That's alright. The bottom text says they know. I can't speak. So as you can see here, I am struggling to get anybody on PlayStation. And I am set to Americas. Let's try worldwide, shall we? Communications, network settings. We're on worldwide. Net battle, public match. I'll even host it. With Tango, you couldn't get random battles. That was my main issue. You couldn't get random multiplayer battles. Which was my main gripe with Tango. And I thought this collection would have fixed that. And it does, but nobody's playing. And I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just my timing or what. But if anybody has this game on PlayStation and is willing to play with me, let me know in the chat. I will absolutely be more than happy to play with you guys. There's my username. Go hard at it. You can at me on the PlayStation. I may not message or play all the time, but I am down to play Battle Network. But let's get back to the main game. So in my opinion, these collections are definitely worth it. They are worth it just like the Zero ZX collection, just like the Legacy Collection 1 and 2, just like the X collection. All of that is worth it. What's not worth it, what weakens this for me, is this is actually what I feel. So, most of the time, I would be more than happy with what we get. And I think I'm still happy with what we got, because it's still better than nothing. I think my main gripe with this collection as a whole, the Battle Network Legacy Collection Volume 1 and Volume 2, is missed opportunity. Now, in Japan, rollback netcode is not a thing. They do not think about the rest of the world in terms of game development. They do not think about any of that. In Japan, people live so close together, and the internet is so good that they don't have to think about, rollback, generally, because usually the connection's pretty stable. It only gets weaker when you leave the country, so when you come to the States and you check stuff out, it becomes weaker. So, rollback was invented to help that for online multiplayer. This was used all over the place. However, it wasn't until Street Fighter VI that Capcom actually allowed for online multiplayer with rollback. So that's why Tango being compatible with this is such a huge thing, because it allows for you to do that. But yeah, there's nothing really in the room. Let's go ahead and put Megaman on the net real fast. Oh my god, 600 zennies. Yeah, I know, right? That is the currency for the series, is zenny. So, it's gonna be really cool. Battle Network 6 is a great starting point for newcomers, and so is Battle Network 5, as well as Battle Network 3 and 2 to a degree. 1 is alright, and 4 I would say stay away from unless you're looking for just the core battle mechanics, because the story for 4 is a little goofy and not great. It's a lot of fur, question mark? I'm confused. Cuddly Kong says Pokeman. I think they mean Pokemon. This plays nothing like Pokemon. In fact, reviews at the time said that this game was a turn-based game. This game has nothing to do with turns. This does not have a turn-based battle system. So you pick your chips, and you move around the board, and the enemy moves around the board, and they can attack whenever, and you can attack whenever. And that's why it's not turn-based. Because it's an action RPG. It's an action RPG mixed with a card game. It's great to have this here. Also, this is fantastic. All of the content from Battle Network 6 is restored, including the maps. This was something that the Wii U Virtual Console version didn't have, the original Game Boy Advance North American release didn't have. This is something where this game right here, Battle Network 6, makes it worth it. You shouldn't have to wait for a price drop with this one, because believe it or not, with this, everything seems to just fall into place, which is nice. I'd love to have Casey on board to talk about this stuff with me, especially because she has been getting huge into the Battle Network and Star Force series, and I would love to see her opinions and thoughts on this game. But she was just so tired, I didn't want to bother her. So I don't want to overwork her. Tetris Attack? This has nothing to do with Tetris Attack. Tetris Attack, you're on your own board. Collector 1. We'll see different viruses as we go along through the net. The net does change as well as you play, so you'll be getting different encounters all through. That's an HP memory. Be sure to pick those up. They increase your maximum HP permanently. But it's an action puzzler. Well, this isn't... Well, yeah, but it is an action RPG. Different. Big difference. Also, I should also say that the Battle Network Legacy Collection is, while it's really cool and really good, there are a limited number of physical copies for this game. Places like Target are running out of stock with these games. This game is selling rather well. And despite everything else, I think a majority of people are getting this on Switch and Steam for their Steam decks and for everything else. So I think that would be your two best bets to get it on. However, I wouldn't sleep on the PlayStation 4 edition because there's a lot of trophies here that are totally worth it and easy peasy to do. Even if I am playing on PS5, which might lead a little cumbrance to the thought that PS5 can only connect to PS5, which would change the whole narrative of what's going on with the net play here. But I don't think that's the case. Seeing as I do have PlayStation Plus and all that jazz. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, it's a really good collection. I would just say it's the weakest out of the Legacy collections. Which is saying a lot. It says a ton. Because the Legacy Collection 2 set a really high standard. The X Collection dropped the ball just a little bit. The Zero Collection picked it up. Yeah, but no. I can definitely say it's... There's a little bit here that... There's just something missing from this collection. And I don't think it's the multiplayer. I think it's just... There are some attention to detail moments that I expect in a Mega Man game that just aren't here. And that doesn't have anything to do with Battle Network or its quality. It has everything to do with the collection. So, as each individual game, they're all worth it to give it a shot. Hello, Maokai. Welcome. These games are all definitely worth it to play. However, I would say, if you're expecting more than what there is, just kind of shrug your shoulders, because you get what you get. You get 6 great, fantastic titles. 4 of them have 2 versions, so you've got extra content in terms of like a Pokemon title. And you also get... and you also get some nice multiplayer stuff. But I haven't been able to test the multiplayer on PlayStation, and it's making me a little sad, because I was not planning on getting any other version At least for a little while. I need the key data. I think it's hidden under the bridge on the right. Buster Max mode as well stacks with your... Does stack with the... oh shoot, what is it? The program... the Navi customizer. Why can't I think of the words? So if you added a +10 to your Navi cust, you can end up doing 110 damage. So it's quite nice. Let's go chat with everyone. We did chat with everybody. And there's a Mr. Frog at the start. Oh boy. Wolvenator Gaming says, I actually had this for the GBA. Well, it's out now on all consoles for $60 for all 6 games, or $30 for each individual collection. This is worth it, but it is the weakest out of the Legacy collections. But there's a lot of gameplay here. Each game roughly is about 20 hours a pop. And with all the bonus contents and multiplayer, it should make it worth it. I just can't pinpoint what is so missing here. And I think most of it comes down to music, retranslations, and the music, the retranslation not being there, and there's just something here that's missing. But it's not bad. This is still leagues and leagues and leagues above anything like the Atari flashback collections. This is leagues above anything like the Ultimate Sega Genesis collection on PS3. This is still leagues above the Genesis collection on Switch. This is still... it's more focused than anything like the Mario 3D All-Stars. It feels... Mario 3D All-Stars is good. I'd say this is still better in terms of the amount of games you get for the price. Especially because 64 is already on Switch. So, this collection's still worth it. It's just a little weak in some areas. But that doesn't make it bad. In fact, I think this is still a really good collection, and I'm happy I have this in my collection. You don't get save states here, so remember to manually save. But Battle Network is a fantastic game. Alright. It does feel really good to play this with a PlayStation controller, even though it shouldn't. Just something about the game, the PS5's controller feels like a... It feels kind of like a wide Game Boy Advance in some aspects, especially with the buttons, and a little bit of the way the smushiness of the D-pad. Yeah, the buttons are smooth instead of that tactile-y plastic, but, I mean, it's still good. Right, to the teacher's room. To meet Joe Mock. Mr. Mock. We'll be back in here in a bit, so... I'm just gonna lead us through for about 2 hours. We're gonna try multiplayer once more in Battle Network 6 as well as 4. But I don't see... I couldn't see us really getting too much of anywhere. I think most people are enjoying the single-player content of the games. Which makes sense, because Battle Network has got some wonderful single-player content. I think we are definitely, when they do a Star Force collection, because it's not if, it's when. When they do Star Force, they need to step the game up. There is enough here, but it's one of those, it's passing with like a 70 or an 80. It's not passing with a 90. And I think that's the best way I could put it. It's passing, but it's not overachieving. If that makes any sense. Oh, there we go. Talk to you. Talk to you. Certain shock is needed. It was custom made for the school. And I can't jack in. This is Tab. Tab is cool. He runs the shop. She runs the shop. I have no idea. Kind of androgynous in my opinion. Alright. You can find stuff all over the classrooms. You can get all this little flavor text here. It's kind of nice. The games are fairly well written. Hello, Karmic. Welcome. I'm just showing off the collection and getting into the nitty-gritty. I still have not been able to get an online multiplayer battle. I think we're going to have to wait until Brent gets the game, which is frustrating, but shrug. I wish I had a co-host to take the talking bit off. We can see if Casey's awake, but I doubt she is. Oh, I get to use my sticker. Because somebody is messaging me. Alright. Alright, we're gonna skip past this, because here we have another little tutorial. It's more or less a showcase. But with Buster Max mode, you make easy peasy of it. We've got about an hour and 10 minutes left, so as we're moving along here. Jack up maintenance, we get ready for our next class. There we go. Doesn't let you open the door until you progress the story. Yeah. I knew that, I just didn't know I needed to talk to Mr. Frog. How's everybody in chat holding up today? Doing well? Oh, by the way, copy bots. They're great. Maybe I missed talking to somebody? There we go. But no, this collection is still worth it. I think I feel vindicated in saying that it is a good collection. It is a good collection of great RPGs. Multiplayer, I can't speak on, but I mean, seeing as it's now got functionality with Tango, I would say we're good. I mean, like I'm sure we'll have some interesting discussions on that. I've never used Tango before, but if you guys would like to see that, feel free to ask. Comes in, splashes him with water, I skip the cutscene. Take his teacher ID. Scramble for the teacher's lounge. This game's alright. I don't have a whole lot to really talk about gameplay-wise here. This is more so a judging on the collection itself. And the game plays and feels great. I'm really impressed that these are ports and not just straight Game Boy Advance emulation. In fact, that makes it really, really cool. I'm gonna fight up against... Alright. And there's here's Blast Man, not Burner Man. Why did I say Burner Man? Looks nothing like Burner Man. Alright, you gotta stand behind those rocks. Ah, I was so close. I tried. 6 definitely has some really cool pacing stuff. Like, I think that this game is one of the better starting points for most players. And I think that with Buster Max mode, it really does fix a lot of the stop, do a random encounter sort of stuff. So close. Once again, today's stream is not going to run very long. We've only got about an hour left for today. I am going to need to take a short break, and then we're going to switch games. I am curious, though, because chat's been rather quiet here. If you've gotten a chance to play this collection so far, what are your thoughts? And if not, what are your thoughts on the commentary thus far on the game? Because I know everybody's got their own opinions, and everybody, I think, should be entitled to that. Although, I don't really have any added commentary for this. Hello, Zenny. They wanted tea with their show. Oh, lovely. Well, I hope I'm entertaining enough. This so far has been rather different, I must say. And this isn't even the only RPG I have to review this month, so there's actually one other set of RPGs that are coming out, and I think that between Battle Network and Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, I have a lot to talk about. The pixel art looks kind of nice. Well, this is a Game Boy Advance title. Wholeheartedly a Game Boy Advance series. You might have seen a video floating around YouTube. This was the only esport that was played on a Game Boy Advance, and to have it back is amazing. However, I just don't think that... I don't think that between PlayStation Plus and Switch Online and all that jazz, I don't think that we're getting quite the same experience as we would if we were just playing 2 people with a Game Boy. I have done multiplayer at my house before, with real Game Boy Advances hooked up to a Game Boy player. And I recorded that for the Ultimate Guide to Mega Man, and we did little pseudo tournament stuff with stuff. And I plan on doing it with this as well, between me and Brent. However, for now, it's not what we're doing. I also plan on ordering a physical copy for this game, because I do like to have a complete set. The dungeons here are not too bad. I actually like the 6 dungeons quite a lot, even if some people don't. I think they're rather nice and neat. Easily designed. This game looks awful easy. Okay. That is because... So, let me start with that. The game does look awful easy. That's because I have Buster Max mode on. I promised you guys a show. Buster Max mode increases your attack power to 100 for the main Buster. You can turn that off. Alright, we gotta talk to Mick a couple times. Come up here to the monitor. He makes up with his Navi. We're able to get out of there. Alright, so. When the game is not cranked up to that easy mode. That easy mode is just meant for you to essentially experience the story with none of the stress. So here's how it's really supposed to be played. Square is my buster, X is my chip set. Normally it's circle and X for those playing with PlayStation controllers. Or A and B. B and A. If you're playing on a Switch. I believe there is a PlayStation, an Xbox version coming, however, no word on that yet, so bear with me. So, for battling, for those who have not played a Battle Network game before, we have different sets of chips. We make our deck of 30 cards, and each of those cards are labeled with a letter, as well as an element. If the element or type of chip is the same, we can select them together, like these two L's. If not, we can only pick one at a time, like this Vulcan. Once you're in battle, my buster is only going to do 1 damage. I can charge it up, and once it's at a pink, it is full, and I can do 10 damage. The enemies here are going to bombard me with attacks. I can guard, deflect, attack, do all that stuff, as well as use my chips with the A button. Once the custom gauge is full, you can go back to your chips, and at which point you are filled back up with 5 cards, and you are supposed to pick new chips. With this, then you can pick stuff, with star chips, you can pick stuff together, so you don't have to worry about an asterisk chip if you can pick it up or not, because you will always be able to. There are counter hits, and that allows for your emotion window up in the left-hand corner. I'll get to show that off in the next battle. But for now, that's the basics of battling, without any bells or whistles there. All of a sudden, the game looks a little tougher, especially because we don't heal after every battle. Battle Network 1 heals after every battle, which makes things a little bit of a mash fest. But everything from 2 onward does not. We can pick stuff like this. Whips, star capsules could sometimes modify other ones, so as long as you pick it afterwards, so like an attack plus 10. In this case, this one would stun. So now my shot just stunned. Stuff like hazards will be on the field as well. So to go along with the emotion window, we also have counter hits. So the emotion window is up there in the corner. It'll show you whether you're beast out, it'll show you whether you're crossed or whatnot. There's a counter hit. Now, if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner, it says cannon 40 damage times 2. So now I'm doing 80 damage to one enemy. And if I can get off another counter hit, I get times 2 for the next attack. That is a very small frame window that you have to hit. Each battle is ranked and timed based on how many shots, how many movements, and how much time you spent in the battle. And how many hits you took. Lowest rank is like rank 1-ish, give or take. But highest rank is S, so it goes 1 through 9, S. So S is what you're aiming for, but you don't have to. And in fact, it's easier to get money if you're in the lower ranks. So before we fight any other navies real fast, we're absolutely gonna have to do some fiddling around here. So, one thing I haven't shown off is the way you make a chip deck. So, chip folders. This is important, so listen up if you're going to play this game. In the folder, when I originally played, I didn't know you could change stuff. So, I was dealing with very weak stuff, based early on. You can sort by ID by hitting start. And you can do stuff like asterisks, absolutely. So now we can get A, B, asterisks and do a program advance. It's all about flow. The more letter codes that you can have that line up, the more easily you're going to be able to run through your folder. So you'll be able to pick more chips and delete enemies faster. So it's all about getting that right flow. It's something called folder flow. It's very important in these games. Here we're going to replace one of the Recov L's because we have an asterisk. Same with this. We don't want the L's in there because, well, L's just are generally worse. We've got a copy damage. I'll switch that out with the Wisp capsule because I don't normally use it. Let's see here. And we'll show off an elemental chip with the fire. Now, as you notice, I have to have at least 30 chips in my pack. I cannot have less than, and I cannot have more than. So, that's the way it's going to do. We're going to get rid of some of these mini-bombs. Mini-bombs have a slow arc that I just cannot get behind. Also, it does not matter how many chipped codes you have. So, if I need an extra cannon B, we get an extra cannon B. We're going to sort by ID. That's how I normally go, is that by ID. It seems to shuffle it pretty well. But if there are chips that are up top, it's a little easier. Another thing you can do. I don't remember the controls here, so give me just a second. L2. So with this we can set a regular chip. So that regular chip will always show up at the top. So you'll see it in battle. This will be really cool to show. This is something that was added in Battle Network 3, I believe, maybe 4. But essentially, this chip is now always locked in. That is always going to be a cannon asterisk until I change it. So if I'm looking for program advances, and I'm trying to get through it, that was a little tight. And of course, not what I want. We'll get rid of one of those. Copy damage. If I tag an enemy and then hit another enemy, I'll damage them. So, chips can be useful in that way. We'll get rid of the double damage so I could show this off. Oh, come now. Swords are close-range chips. You gotta be really close to the enemy to use them. Wide sword will hit 3 across. Long sword will hit 2 in front. Screw it. I really do want to show this off. This game no longer looks a little easy. It is well-balanced and well-paced. Of course, just like any Mega Man game, it's going to be a little tough and a little challenging. So if you're struggling with this game, do not feel ashamed to use Buster Max mode. Everybody was bad at some point in time. And there is no shame in using Buster Max mode to get an understanding of the mechanics. As a reliability, though, it's not on for the multiplayer, so you don't have to worry about it interfering with the meta game. I love Mega Man and the Battle Network series as a whole, and I think this is already putting me in a little bit of an easier mood. The more I play, the easier I get with this game, and I think that is the right take. If chat would like to discuss, ask questions, feel free to. Once we beat Mr. Mach, we will absolutely be going and trying to... I've layered that, like, terribly, but... Once we beat Mr. Mach, we'll be able to show off some more stuff. There is a weakness chain in 2 of them, in fact. So, fire beats wood, wood beats elec, elec beats water. And water beats fire. With fire, then again, beating wood, so. Nice little chain. Neutral are neutral chips. You don't get a buff, but you don't get a bonus. So, you don't get the buff, you don't get the buff of it, you don't get the debuff of it, so. Now, here's one of my favorite tricks to do in this game. Because the way the dungeons are laid out, you can leave, come back, and it'll actually be faster to finish the dungeon that way. This first one, at least. There's your little speedrunning tip for the day. Seems clear to you that you like it? Well, awesome. Alright, make sure to save before you come to a boss. And this is Blast Man. Once I get in the mood of this game, it really does. Ooh, A-B asterisk. We get to show off a program advance. Giga Cannon 1. If we can hit with that, that is 300 easy damage. And I missed. Kind of sort of missed on purpose. Not really, but, you know, I can have fun with it. Oop, he likes to do that. Now, Blast Man in the classic series was all about explosions. Here, he is all about fire. So, stay on your toes. He's like a blast furnace. So, stay on your toes, everybody. Make sure to get blue mystery data is, like, items that will not change on the field. Battle number 4, they change depending on which playthrough and if you've collected them already. But green ones are random and will respawn every single time. Purple ones will need to be unlocked. Battle Network 1 does not have that rule. So, of course, the first game will be a little rough around the edges. Let's see if we can hit with the sword. There we go. Here's another. Bam. Bam. And that's how we do. That's not too bad, in my honest opinion. And that's the first chapter of Battle Network 6. There was all sorts of other sub-areas that I have not been to. However, we're going to go back to the house, save, and then try to do some more multiplayer stuff. And if it doesn't work this time, well, I don't know what to tell you. You can hit L at any time to get a hint from Megaman on what to do. And there is no shame in using a guide. Some of the questions in this series are a little bit obtuse. Oh, we have to check the Mr. Prog on the computer, of course. All of these games have unskippable tutorials, so it's kind of a shame. But, oh, we got a roll chip. Chip folder, edit, chip so the blue chip here is a mega chip. You can only have, I think, 3 or 4 of them. We're gonna pop it in. Roll is a very useful chip, so we're gonna want that. We're gonna go ahead and save it. We're gonna try communications. We're gonna go for we're gonna make sure we're on worldwide. We're gonna go net battle. Let's go private match. Create a room. Practice. Single battle. Disable patch cards. The room code is DT3Q0N. If anybody would like to join, please do so now. I'm only gonna give it about 3 minutes. I will be right back because online is DT3Q0N. This is your chance to battle me. I will be right back after I grab my drink and my small snack, and I will be it should be a-okay to go from there. We'll give multiplayer 1 shot here, and if it doesn't work, we're going to try it in 4. And then we're just going to move on to Battle Network 4, and I'm going to show off where I'm at in the story there and continue to pace forward and show you guys the way BN4 is structured. Because I think I'm at the tournament arc. I think I'm at the get all the code pieces. So I will be right back, folks. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope you guys are enjoying. Feel free to keep talking in chat. I will read it when I get back out loud. Alright, folks, I am back. I gave it all the time I could. Not a single person seems to be able to join. So let's go ahead and save. And get into...
Great work today.
Thanks, bud. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, individual files for each, which is nice. We're going to move into Red Sun and give it a shot. BN4 is one of the harder games in this series. It actually is one I think benefits the most from having the Buster Max mode. Now, growing up, I had Battle Network 5, Team Proto Man, Battle Network 4, Blue Moon, Battle Network 3, Blue, 3, White, and I gave away my white copy, or blue copy to somebody. I later then got it back. I now have Double Team DS, 6 Gregar, or maybe it was 6 Swalzar. I've got a copy of nearly every one of these games already, and I still think this is probably going to be my preferred way to play the main story. We are a good ways in, and I haven't even fiddled with my folder, so here's the default folder, everybody. Well, mostly default. I added a few gigas. Recuv 80... J, Recuv 30R, we'll place there. Vulcan 2, we could replace one of the Vulcans. Air shot, actually. I've been getting a lot of chips, as you can see by the numbers next to them. Longsword E, counters. So, in our first run, we ended up getting Gutsman. Gutsman is our first Navi. I haven't shown off the Navi cust yet, which is why I was playing last night. All of these screens have been restored, by the way, so Battle Network 3's got some really cool stuff, too, that's missing. I've got an attack +1, a speed +1, a charge +1, HP +50, and an undershirt. Or undershot. Some people call it shirt, some people call it shot, some people just call it sht. Which, fair. I mean, that's what it's spelled like, but, I mean, it's not. It means you undershot. When you run it, this is what you get. So, solid ones, like this one, need to have some place on the line. Same colors can't be next to each other, and the squared ones cannot be on this command line. So, keep that in mind as you do, and if you make any mistakes, Megaman will glitch and have a bug. I encountered one bug earlier on where Megaman was constantly shifting towards the front of the line. I don't know why or what caused that, but I'm sure I'll find out eventually. So let's try net battles. Waiting room. Why not? Public match. Except Navis. Looking for... Any Navi is A-okay with me. I am not... R1? Oh, I can hit R1 to refresh. It doesn't refresh the timer, but I can just keep hitting refresh every now and again. I'm gonna mash X. Okay, well... That's fair. That takes a little bit to get to. Public match. Practice, single battle. Actually, let's go real thing, single battle, disable patch cards. Let's try. Sylveon Chan says, if Woodman is nice, what does that make his EXE counterpart? Goofy. I will host a battle here for Battle Network 4. So if anybody has the Legacy Collection 2, has Battle Network 4, I promise to not use my Giga Chips. I promise not use any Mega Chips. I will fight fair, and I will fight honestly. So please, join in. Give us a good battle. This is for the PS4 version, by the way. So if you're looking for me, my name on there is Gavin MH. If you guys want to give it a shot, I will type it in the chat. So you can add me on the PlayStation and feel free to bother me all day long. I will absolutely battle you at any time. We'll do voice chat, all that jazz. I am always down to play at least a little bit of Battle Network. I will be playing a bit after the stream as well, so for those looking to hang out, perfect timing. But how are you doing today, Sylvian? Hope everybody's doing well so far. Seems like the battle system just is not getting anything. Maybe we can compare, you know? Compare libraries. Send requests. I will send. Let's compare data. No partners can be found. Refresh the list. No. Huh. Switch to host. Sure. I will host some stuff. Nope. Cool. Was fun. Super easy buster only. Nice. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Right now I'm playing through the Battle Network Legacy Collection and enjoying this brand new title. I mean, not brand new, but brand new. So in the games, there are bestiaries in the form of the library. You can get and collect as many chips as you want. Can be a fun time. So yeah. Well, lovely. Oh, I should also mention, I should probably grab that real fast. One moment, folks. Maybe not. Okay, so possibly here. I do have a strategy guide around here somewhere. I can't find it. I have a strategy guide around here, and I don't know where it's at. But the strategy guides are great. So, speaking of BN, only got into NT on GameCube. I would say so. Sylvian, NT on GameCube is really good, but if you want to get into Battle Network at all, if you want to give it a shot, pick up the Legacy Collection Volume 2 and give Battle Network 6 a shot. And if that's not really your thing, give Battle Network 3 a shot on Volume 1. And if you're still not quite if it's still not quite clicking with you, watch a video or two on the way the battle system works. Give it one more go, and if it's not for you, it's not for you at that point. But these two collections are actually a fairly, stable way to play these games, which I was a little impressed with. So we're looking for order points, but I have absolutely no idea where they're all at. So we're kind of just goofing around. You don't have the Legacy Collection. Well, it just came out, Sylvian. It's on Steam, it's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, and I think there's an Xbox version coming eventually. But for right now, this is what it's on, and it's pretty good. It is definitely worth it. I'm playing the PlayStation version here. Doesn't mean you have to, like I said. But as a way to entry point to start out getting into the series, it's pretty good. As you can see, I'm doing a little jerk. You went, yeah, no, mystery data? What's that? There we go. A nice counter on it. You do have the GBA ROMs. Well, I'm not going to encourage piracy, Sylveon, I'm sorry to say. I love this series too much, and it sat dormant for a very long time. And the fact that it is just now being able to be played by a majority of the people that I look up to and hang out with is a fantastic thing. Especially because the Legacy Collection here is actually compatible with Tango, as long as you are playing the PC version. Soma says, I wonder if the leaked Rockman match from the NVIDIA leak back in 2020 was this game. No, it was not. No, it was not. I have seen Rockman match, and I will not say more on Rockman match. This was not Rockman match. This was not at all. This is something to drum up a little bit of hype for it. Match was actually supposed to come out later this year, so then this would have come out in December. Match would have come out in summer, and then they would have announced a few other, like, anniversary plans. You like BN for the lore? Well, the games are absolutely worth it. I went into all sorts of different lore stuff in my video on the topic. I know I plug the Ultimate Guide to Mega Man quite a lot, but I mean, it was a video that took me 4 years to make, and a lot of time and research and energy went into it, so I bring it up only because, I mean, wouldn't you want, like, if you made something really cool, wouldn't you want everybody to watch it? You spent, like, your whole time on something, you know, you might just. We got a point! Yay! They're hidden all over the place, so. But we've mostly just been hanging out and playing this game, attempting to do online matches. However, for PlayStation at least, I haven't been able to get any, which is a shame, because I really want to try it out. My roommate Brent says he's going to get the game eventually, so we should be able to try it out sometime soon, but it won't be on stream, sadly. Your luck may vary with the online modes, but there's enough single-player content here, and with the added back in newly translated Battle Network 6 post-game content, totally worth it. Collection's worth it, guys. Even if this is a weaker Legacy collection, it's still a good collection. And I just keep getting Prick's power, so we're just gonna keep using it. Video Man, Laser Man, Kendo Man. Kendo Man's kind of funny, because if he hits you from the front and then the back. I don't think we're going to see anything that's going to get hit by it, but I do have Gut Style in my repertoire, so we'll have to do that. Oh, I just noticed we are still on the BN 6 one. I believe this one is also for 4. Yes, it is. This game is quite integrated. I like these versions of the game. What if we line them up just right? Come on, Billy. Come on, Billy. Oh, gosh dang you. Oh, boy. Well, this is gonna be fun. On top of that, this game has a lot of different stuff from the other titles that aren't here, like the mobile games and artwork. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice. I'm very happy with my purchase here, which says a lot. Because usually I'm usually first on the skeptical bandwagon. When it comes to this franchise, I try my best to stay positive. There we go. Lined up for a triple delete. Busting level S. That's how you do it. That's how you get it done. Alright. I suppose we could try Battle Network 5. Absolutely. Things do seem a little bit more stable than they did last night. There will probably be an update patch for this game. But its biggest lacking point was in the music, the new music remixes, because they did 20 of them and only put 3 in the game off the bat. I'm sure there will come in an update. But, so far, I mean, overall, the way the games play are great. They load quick.
So, what's next?
I'm not sure, but Megaman is ready to show off the next game, and I'm not even sure I'm ready to show off the next game. Let's change him to Dark Mega, shall we? Because I actually have the DLC.
I think you should use a dark chip. Got ya? Did I scare ya? Dark Mega sure is spooky, huh?
Andrew Francis's voice, he does a great job. Lazy Man looks like Tron characters. Kinda, sorta. We actually, if you want to,
Load up the gallery.
if in the art gallery here, we can actually see the early concepts for such stuff, like Duo here. Early stuff like attacks, finalized character designs, portraits. Here was the original pitch sketch for Laser Man, and here's what the team did with it. Dark Mega, more like Kingdom Hearts. Okay, well, we're not playing Kingdom Hearts today. So. Stuff like early Shade Man designs, later ones, the final one, Cold Man, Kendo Man. I love some of these early artwork pieces. Burner Man.exe. Love this early look for him. He seems more reserved. And then here he just looks unhinged, which is great because it matches with Burner Man's personality. Video Man and his early looks. I don't know what changed it into black, but I do like this little kind of like almost cream colored look for him. He looks really cool like that. Top Man, of course. Spark Man's early drafts. Stuff for 5, including different art pieces and all sorts of stuff. The Boktai content for 6 is here. This is the definitive way to play a majority of these games. However, for online, I would say use the Legacy Collection, but then use Tango to connect yourself, because if not, it gets a little messy. Tango is certainly definitely an easier way to connect. Wily. Later drafts of Wily. See what they could do with him. I do like a lot of this early artwork. Rough drafts, the way young Wily looks. Dude looks like Armada Megatron, by the way. Yeah, I feel it. I can get it. I can get behind that. Early, rough, young Dr. Light. I like this sketch of him. Especially because this was the first time he'd ever seen a young Dr. Light in the games themselves. And he's not too far off from the way he looked in, you know, later ones. Here we have early sketches for some of the crosses and soul unisons. Which, I love this lineless look. I must say, this just looks fantastic. And you can really zoom in here. These are very high quality scans. I love the way they look on my 4K TV. If anybody wants to stop on one specifically, we can. I kind of prefer the lab coat look for Medi's cross, but, you know, that's just me. Colonel's a little funky. Shadow Man's look. Toadman. This earlier one is really weird looking, but I kind of like it. Tango to say Burana? Well, Tango is the program that allows you to run online net battles with emulated ROMs, and it's pretty accurate and fairly good. I've seen people run it before. However, my main complaint was you couldn't encounter random people. You couldn't just battle randoms at the same level that you were at. So I thought, like, this collection would fix that. But it seems like more people are playing on PC and Switch, so... And more people might be playing on the single player than the multiplayer. I might try to battle up with some of my buds from Flashing Blades as well as Reploid Revo and see what we can get with that, especially with Shadow Rock and whatnot. But right now, I don't think we've got anything. So, we'll probably come back to it. This will be how I cover the Battle Network series when we get around to it. But for me, this is just a showcase video. Trophies are nice, you know. Patch cards are great. I actually really think the patch cards are really cool. Especially because they do all sorts of crazy stuff. You can do stuff that, like, changes the border windows for your menus, changes what color Megaman is. It's really neat. Changes your charge shot effect. Some of these, like the more weaker ones, don't have any drawbacks, but other ones have major ones, so careful what you wish for. We've got character cards with their details on the bottom there, including. And yes, you can look at these, zoom in, go all over them. We've got the download chips in here as well. And I must say, this really is a complete collection. And with the anime airing on YouTube, it has certainly made this feel like a very definitive set. I'm going to see if I can raise the volume a little bit, because it seems like you guys aren't really getting the full effect of the music here.
Nothing like a net battle to get the blood flowing.
I've been trying. So let's go ahead and start up Team Proto Man.
We got this.
And see if we can get something. Oh, well, you guys could have told me that the audio is a little quiet. It's all good. I can fix and move things around as we go. I have zero issues with this. That was my bad. I overcorrected. But yeah, I think that the filter looks a lot nicer on larger displays. They look alright, and with these less detailed sprites, it looks fine. But it's not the best, and I can totally see why most people would want it off. Another thing with the display is we can play it like it's only a couple times bigger on the Game Boy Advance. Largest, I don't know, this still just bothers me. It just does, I don't know why. Let's change the border real fast here. Something a bit more Megaman 5-esque. Because these are 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, and then 4, 4, 4. So, I think this one's Proto Man? Yeah, there we go. Aquil says, I've been playing Mega Man recently, back in my birthday. Okay, well, nice. Certainly, this is certainly a fairly good one to give a go. We're gonna have online battles shot after we get through this. And we're going to hopefully encounter somebody who's fairly new at the game and just kind of give a fair look at. If anybody has this game, once again, on PlayStation 4 and wants to battle with me, type it in chat, let me know, and I will absolutely be down to battle. I want to show this off so bad. Speaking of reference images, I used artwork from Battle Network 5 a long time ago. So I did a concept sketch, more of a moving around sprite pieces until I got what I wanted. And I did a concept sketch for a multiplayer Battle Network experience where it was 2v1. 2v the enemy. And while I thought it looked good and it turned out well, I have never reposted it. So I think I might here in a bit. I've got both the early drafts and everything for it. This game is the 5 is really good, especially if you like strategy games, because the liberation missions take the combat system from the main game and flips it on its head with custom windows opening instantly for liberation battles and all sorts of stuff. It's really neat. Next week we will continue on Tuesday, I believe, with some with finishing up the classic series and what I have left. As far as Battle Network goes, I'm not ready to fully cover them, but I just wanted to give my first thoughts, get some of those views in, show you guys what I think. And thus far, good game, but some missed opportunities leave me a little bit. Nothing too angry though. I hope the game's not too loud now. I really do hope. It looks like it's a bit louder than I want it to be. I'll turn it down a little bit, but not much. Alright, let's try another practice match. Let's see if we can get one. Net battle, public, casual. I will guest, I'll join. Practice, single battle. We'll even enable patch cards. I don't use them, but sure. Continue. So it's constantly looking in the background, so okay. Net battle, public match. What if we go ranked match, hosts, real thing, single battle, disable patch cards. Host, practice, single battle, disable patch cards. I don't have any chips, so it can't be a good one. And let's see if we can get anybody. I think this is the only shortcoming, is that I just don't have anybody to play with at the moment. Nobody's online on the PlayStation, I suppose. New game and all, I understand. Net battle, private match, create room, casual, practice, single battle, disable. Ready for a challenger. Code for this one is S6DUW2. Feel free to join in if you want. Just go private match, type in that you're looking for a match, and type in the code. And if anybody's battling, we will absolutely try. Still not a single match. See, here's what I was hoping. I was hoping that the match system could be run in the background. And then it would ask people if or if not they want to play. That might not be possible. Alright, wow. Yeah. Nope. I'm just not getting anything. Oh boy. Well, I suppose we can continue for just a little bit longer. I've only got about 20 minutes left here. I can also say that this game was not given to me by Capcom. I did spend the full money on this, so it's... So, as far as game's concerned, pretty impartial. No one plays this on PlayStation. Yeah, I don't understand it. I think... So, these were originally released on the Nintendo Game Boy. I think what's going on is everybody is playing this on either the Switch or PC. PC for the stable online connection, and Switch so it's like a Game Boy. And if they've got a Steam Deck, they've got even more reason to play it on you know, Steam, on PC. So, the presumption here is nobody is playing on PlayStation for the multiplayer. They are playing on PlayStation for the story. And that's okay. I'll end up getting this on all platforms regardless, so... Because I am one of those shills who buys a game multiple times, especially if it's on sale. I like seeing different versions, I like seeing what's up. And I'm sure the Switch version of this game runs just fantastic, but... even then, you never know. PlayStation-wise, though, was hoping for a little bit of something. Didn't really seem to get that. Because I'm doing private, I'm doing public, I'm waiting, and nothing. No one's playing 5, no one's playing 4. I wonder if they're playing DN3, I have no idea. I don't know where the real metagame is coming from on this. But once again, when I started this video, I did mention a few things about Battle Network that I think a lot of fans of the series are missing, especially if you're trying to play these games on real hardware. So one thing that a lot of fans of these games don't realize is how expensive it is to play retro games right now. Retro gaming is incredibly expensive, right? It's one of those hobbies where if you're into it, it's presumed that you're either a man-child or are incredibly rich. My case is neither. Although, with Battle Network, with this collection here, it makes it kind of cheaper, which is nice, you know. So Battle Network's 4, 5, and 6. 4 is about anywhere between 30 to 50 bucks. 5 is, for Team Proto Man, it's like 40 to 50. Team Colonel is, it gets up there. because a Team Colonel goes up to, I think, $160 on the upper end and $80 on the lower end. Battle Network 6 goes from somewhere in between $200 to $60, depending on both version and how good of a copy you want to own. And I must say, this is a steal when you realize that owning all of these games would cost you somewhere on the upwards of $600 to $700 if you owned physical copies on the Game Boy Advance and on the DS in 5's case. And I'm not even talking about side games like Battle Chip Challenge, Network Transmission, the 2 mobile phone titles, and oh shoot, what is it? I think that's all of them. Oh, and Wonders 1. So, absolutely, this collection is totally worth it. The music fades in and out between areas too. That didn't happen in the Game Boy version, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because it's easier on my ears than just going from one note to the next. It's a nice fade. I use a lot of fade effects when I make videos because I think it's easier on the ears. I'll fade between one song and the next, generally. So hearing it here in a collection, you know, I'm not broken up about it. I'm just kind of going around the long way, enjoying my way through the game. If you want real introductions to all of this stuff, I will be playing them on the channel later on, but it won't be till later this year, if not next year, and we'll be taking it quite a bit slower than what I normally do. So, but the games look great, they run really well, audio is there, the extra features
How about a change of pace?
are a little bit out there, but I mean overall, not too bad. I do hope we get more skins for Mega Man. I would love to see cross-fusion versions for 5 and 6 as you play through. I would have loved to see stuff like you know, any more extra single-player content, some extra trophies and stuff. I would have loved to see a bit more substance here. More stuff in the bonus music player. Include like soundtrack CDs and stuff. I would have preferred if both games had the same amount of trophies, because this one has 47, the other one has 56. I wish some of the art gallery was unlocked. I wish that some of this stuff was locked, and then you unlock it as you played. Not all of it, of course, but just, you know, little pieces here or there. So my official verdict on the Battle Network Legacy Collection is yay or nay. It was you, Dark Mega. Absolutely. Actually, I think there is a Dark Mega card. 2 extra chips, pink background. We're gonna turn that on when Truman plays. This one's Truman, this one's Casey, and this one's Brent. Absolutely, that's the way that goes. But I think there is a Dark Mega card. There's a lot to see here, there's a lot to do here. Ooh. Wait, item cards. Grant you 1,000 zenny, can only be used once per version. Grants you roll R, recover 300Y, barrier 200W, 5,000 Zenny, Scully 3. So this can give you some of the harder to get cards. Huh. The games are definitely worth it. This package is worth it, and I can't stress this enough. Even if it's not the most definitive way to do online battles, it's still good. Huh, it seems like there isn't a Dark Mega card. We have a Hub card, though. Dark Mega debuted in Mega Man Battle Network 4 as one of the final area bosses, and then he later reappeared in Battle Network 5 and is referenced in Battle Network 6. Rockman Shadow is the closest thing we have in the classic series to him. But yeah, no, this set's pretty good, I must say. I think the only thing that would have made it better would have been 4.5 with an English translation. And Battle Chip Challenge. But even then, I understand, I get it. They don't fit within the gameplay feel. And I'm not going to be broken up about it. Because this is a majority of the Battle Network games and everything that you need to understand the story that takes place. So, yeah, even wild stuff like Bowl Man. Oh boy. Ooh. Yeah, no. Music remixes are quite nice. We even have event cards like Soul Battler's Custom, Mr. Famous card, the Django. Details on this card reflect that of the original. So, yeah. I think the only thing left that I haven't done is seen the credits. So I think we're going to play out the credits here. As I recommend you guys give this a go and try it out for yourself. Definitely worth it for me. Even if I don't get the chance to try any multiplayer with you guys, you can always attempt to add me on PlayStation, Gavin Dragon MH. You can be like, hey, I want a net battle. I'm from the YouTube. Send me a message. That's generally a good way to get my attention. Because I'm usually, if I'm not on the PC working, I'm on the PS5 playing. This has been a very busy week for me, so I'm very happy it's kind of over. So, but yeah, there were a lot of people that worked on this, and this game did suffer from 2020's COVID delays. So, game development takes a long time. So, games that came out in 2020 weren't affected by it. Games that came out in 2021 probably weren't affected by it. Games that came out in 2022, some of them were, but they were the later entries. 2023 is where we're going to see a lot of COVID-developed video games, where they were away from the office. Not everything is going to be able to be pieced together as finely or as neatly as if they were all sitting in the same room talking about it. And that's just something we're going to have to live with. So, certainly worth it. Even if not my favorite Legacy collection. So, I mean, I don't know why you're still watching the video. Drop a like, subscribe, and stick around. I mean, go play the game. I'll be here when you get back. I promise you that. I've got lots of streams, so. Next week is all going to be some crazy multiplayer shenanigans, including stuff like Power Battles, Power Fighters, Battle and Chase, Mega Man Soccer, Rockboard, the DOS titles, and I think Powered Up. So, hello Foxino. We are just finishing up stuff. Also, Nero has been trying to get a hold of you. He was asking about you. Oh, let's see here. What else? This remix here is really good. I wish it played during. I wish it was in the music, unless it's unlocked after you watch. That's something we're gonna have to figure out. So far, so good. Now, I don't know when these credits play. I'm assuming once you've completed a game, they play after the main credits for each game, each individual title.
I'll boot up the gallery.
Alright. We'll go down here to the music player. Nope, it did not get added. Interesting.
Booting up.
Chase Young says, well done for beating the game. I didn't beat any game. I did not beat any game, Chase. This is just a showcase. I am still playing through all of these titles. This is just a showcase and my review of these games. So we're going to swap over to the first Legacy Collection. Show off a little bit more there because I haven't really. And then we're going to call it. Lots of warning screens, and still think this title screen is beautiful.
Hey, how you doing? Let's hang out for a bit.
Alright. With all that being said, folks,
I'll boot up the gallery.
I think that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll definitely be doing multiplayer stuff in the future, so if you folks want to give this game a go, give it a shot. But that's it from me. I have been your humble host. Good night, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at @GavinDragon.exe, or you can donate to the PayPal link on your screen below. You can also go to the Discord and check all that stuff out. Seems like Megaman's going and doing it. There'll also be stuff on your screen to click on after the video gets done processing. So, I've been your humble host. Good night, everybody.